What's up, guys? My name is Rob, and welcome back to Rule of Two Review, and today, wouldn't you know it, Fatal Frame 5 is actually coming to the States. So as you know, and if you've seen my first video today, you've already heard me talk about this a little bit. Nintendo had an amazing Nintendo Direct today, April 1st, 2015, April Fool's Day, but it was no Fool's Day because today they kicked ass on the internet and had tons of great news and a couple of really fantastic surprises. My favorite surprise of today was not the Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem confirmation, which was amazing, and I did make a video on that, so if you haven't checked it out, please go ahead and check it out, link it below for you. But the really exciting thing to me was the confirmation that Fatal Frame 5 and whatever crazy black-haired shrine maiden title that's going to actually get when it comes out in the States is actually officially coming to North America. Now, this is something that I'm super proud of because I have been predicting this since day one, and there have been a lot of naysayers out there, and I understand why, because Nintendo of Japan has been a little bit stupid in the past, and even more specifically, they've been stupid with Fatal Frame because, as a lot of us know, Fatal Frame 4, which was exclusive to the Wii last generation, released in Japan and never came to the States for God knows why. No one can tell you why Nintendo didn't understand why they needed to release that game in the States, but hey, we missed it. It's really unfortunate. With the announcement of Fatal Frame 5 for the Wii U and how amazing and gorgeous it looked, a lot of people said, hey, that game needs to come to the States. I've been saying that game needs to come to the States, and to North America, I should say. I can't remember if the UK was initially not included in its release, and if that's joining this North American release or not. But regardless, it's, I think, only released in Japan so far. And that's a game that everyone said, hey, you're making great use of the gamepad, and why wouldn't you take this game that looks amazing with the gamepad and release it in the States where we need mature content? And again, a lot of people thought that it wasn't going to happen, but I knew that it would. In fact, I was so confident that a couple of months ago, I made a video explaining to the internet why I was all but sure that Nintendo was almost guaranteed to bring that game to the States. I will also link that below. I implore you to go and watch it because I was very proud of how correct my prediction was. And to me, it's so obvious. Now, I touch on this on the video below, which I still want you to go watch. But a lot of the reasons I knew that this game was going to come out in the States was because Nintendo has been playing it so aggressive the last year. Really kind of kicking off with the way their E3 presentation went last year and their release of amazing games and their announcement of amazing games that were exclusive in partnerships with third parties. Some really mature titles that have been talked about, such as Devil's Third, and it just, to me, had showed a different side of Nintendo, that they were ready to slowly start kicking ass in the way that they used to, and no longer resting on their laurels, while people seem confused about who they really are and why their system is great, and picking up the competition systems, which I own and enjoy, but I have to admit are nowhere near as quality as what Nintendo is producing with the Wii U. So not only was it obvious that they were going to be playing it more aggressive, I felt like in that aggressive state, one of the things that they should notice is, hey, people in North America are asking us for this game. They're begging us for this game. We know that in North America, mature hardcore content is the kind of thing that people really want and is the kind of thing that we really have a dearth of on our system. The Wii U doesn't have a lot of content like that. And also, Nintendo has talked about, specifically Miyamoto and Iwata have both talked about how they really want to focus on the gamepad going forward. They want to start making sure that future titles showcase why the gamepad is a great addition to the system and why it's mandatory for the Wii U experience and how it can benefit games and make games more unique and more immersive. And, you know, Miyamoto obviously is working on a couple small projects like Project Robot and Project Guard. But of course, his big project, the new Star Fox, which we still don't have any more information on. We know that has a huge emphasis on the gamepad, and I cannot wait to see how that's going to play out. Not to mention a couple other things coming up. You know, Splatoon, of course, is making big use of it. So obviously, with this new focus on the gamepad, or I should say redirected or reinvigorated focus on the gamepad, it seemed obvious to me that this mature, hardcore, scary, horror, gamepad-centric game needed to come out in the States where they knew they needed to strengthen their brand and attract more of the North American audience. That's exactly what this game was going to do, and I just saw it coming, man. I saw it in Nintendo's stars. I saw it in their future. They knew this game needed to come to the States, and here we go. Today we had the confirmation during the Nintendo Direct. Now, there wasn't a whole lot more information given. Bill Trinan was hosting this part of the Nintendo Direct, and he was the one who introduced the game as a North American upcoming release. He said the game is coming later this year, so obviously we can expect a fall release probably around Halloween because it's going to be the Wii U's flagship horror title for this year. It's going to be a great way to combat the lack of Resident Evil and Evil Within and things like that. That should be coming out on the system, but of course we know third parties don't love to work with Nintendo for some dumb reason, and that's okay, because you know what? We get great exclusive games like Fatal Frame 5, which we know is going to be amazing. Super happy and super proud of Nintendo for doing this and following through. Also, I have to admit, I'm a little bit proud of myself for being correct this whole time and never really doubting Nintendo and doubting this game, knowing that it was destined to come to North America. So, again, please go and watch my initial video below. It's only a couple minutes long, and I really want you to be able to kind of get an idea of what it was I was talking about months and months ago when I had no doubt and nothing but faith that this game would be releasing in the States. And of course, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you are new to Rule of Two Review, please feel free to subscribe, like, rate, and share the video. Share your comments and your thoughts about Fatal Frame 5, and if you're excited or if you're not, and what you think about this announcement below. And thank you for tuning in. I will, of course, catch you guys on the next video for Rule of Two Review.